Palestinians include undertaken to the gateway of the Western Banking and the Gaza Strip stripe for a tertiary day irate at U.S. CEO Donald Trump cards acceptance of Jerusalem as Israel's equity. Hundreds protested, but numbers were downward compared to Friday. Over, Israel transferred out strikes on Gaza Strip in answer to missile flame designed at southern Israel. The go ends U.S. neutral on one of the area's largest susceptible issues and has been criticized though by U.S. allies. Israel has ever recognized Jerusalem as its equity, time the Palestinians complained East Jerusalem, held by Israel in the 1967 war, as the equity of a next Palestine country. For Mr. Trump card the judgment fulfills a campaigning pledge and he has told it was anything more than or less than rather than a acceptance of fact. More than rather than 600 Palestinians detained protests at above 20 Western banking sites, onto the Israelite troop, in several lobbing stone and gasoline bombs at safety forces. Where were as well protests at the Gaza Strip boundary, wherever a day up to Palestinians were annihilated in clashes in Israelite military. 3 missile strike were fired at Israel deceased on Friday, in no human loss informed. Israel answered in strikes targeting which the troop told were war sites identity to the Islamic team Hamas, murder 2 of its members. Thousands of Palestinians had protested on Friday, in cohesion demonstrations detained through the Arabic planet and in some Muslim-majority nations. The U.S. defect president is due to trip the Medium East after the monthly, but Palestine CEO Mahmoud Abbas advisor Mahdi al-Khaldi told the couple would not be meet. America has crossed all red channel in its newest decisions above Jerusalem, Mahdi al-Khaldi told. Where has been no commentary of Mr. Abbas oneself, although, and it is not precise which, if all, meet had been planned. At an disaster meet of the UN Safety Justice on Friday, the U.S. found himself in isolation, in the some 14 members all denouncing Mr. Trump card's proclamation. But U.S. envoy Nikki Haley charged the UN of prejudice. Proverb it has brutally been one of the planet's primarily centers of animosity to Israel, and how the U.S. was yet devoted to conclusion world. Jerusalem is of enormous significance to both of Israel and the Palestinians. It contains sites holy to the 3 main monotheistic faiths, Jewish, Islamic, and Christian. Israel held the east segment, previous held by Jordan, in 1967, and annexed it in 1980, but the go has never been recognized at international level. Several 330,000 Palestinians dwell in East Jerusalem, on 200,000 Israelite Jew in a half a dozen settlements where the settlements are deliberate illicit by World Act, although Israel does not consider them as settlements but legal neighborhoods. Onto the 1993 Israel-Palestinian World Accords. The definitive Statute of Jerusalem is intended to be debated in the last stages of world negotiations. The recent circle of negotiations among Israel and the Palestinians ruined downward in 2014 and time the U.S. is formulating crisp proposals, Palestine officials include told Mr. Trump card's ad has disqualified the U.S. of intermediation next talks.